साख्यमात्मनिवेदनम् पुंसार्पिता विष्णु भक्ति चेत् नवलक्षणा भगवती यदा हन्मन्ये दीप्तम् उत्तमम् श्रीप्रहलादवाच श्रवणं कीर्तनं विष्णु स्मरणं पादसेवनम् अर्चनं वदनं दास्यम् साख्यमात्मनिवेदनम् इति पुंसार्पिता विष्णु भक्ति चेन्नवलक्षणा क्रियेत भगवते हदा तन्मन्ये चित्तमुत्तमम्. Translation purport. Prahlad said, hearing and chanting of the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through this 9 method should be understood to be the most person. For is acquired complete knowledge. We continue from yesterday. Kirtanam, the chanting, the hearing of the holy name has been described above. Now let us try to understand the chanting of the holy name, which is the second item in the consecutive order. It is recommended that such chanting be performed very loudly. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni says that without shame he began traveling all the world, chanting the holy name of Lord. Similarly, Sri Chetma has advised, Pranadapi Sanichena, Tarurapi Sanishnama, Manina Manadena, Kirtaniya Hasava Hari. A devotee can very peacefully chant the holy names of Lord by behaving more humbly than the grass, being tolerant like a tree, and offering respects to everyone without expecting honor from anyone else. Such qualifications make it easier to chant the holy name of Lord. The process of transcendental chanting can be easily performed by anyone, even one is physically unfit, classified lower than others, devoid of mental qualifications, or not at all elevated in terms of pious activities. The chanting of holy name is beneficial. An aristocratic birth, advanced education, beautiful bodily features, wealth, and similar results of pious activities are all unnecessary for advancement in spiritual life. For one can very easily advance simply by the chanting the holy name. It is understood from the authoritative source of Vedic literature that especially in the age of Kali, people are generally short-lived, extremely bad in their habits, and inclined to accept methods of devotional service that are not bona fide. Moreover, they are always disturbed by material conditions, and they are mostly unfortunate. Under the circumstances, the performance of other processes such as yajna, dana, tapa, and kriya, sacrifice, charity, and so on, are not at all possible. Therefore, it is recommended Hare Rama, Hare Rama eva kevalam, Halo nasteva gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of difference is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. Simply by chanting the holy name Lord, one advances perfectly in spiritual life. This is the best process for success in life. In other ages, the chanting of the holy name is especially powerful, but especially in this age, Kaliga, it is most powerful. Kirtanardeva Krishnasya Tasanga Param Rachet. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna was liberated and returns home back to God. Therefore, even if one is able to perform other processes of devotional service, one must adopt chanting of the holy name as a principal method of advancing in spiritual life. Yajna Sankirtana Praya, Yajanti Sumedasa. Those who are very sharp in their intelligence should adopt this process of chanting the holy names of God. One should not, however, manufacture different types of chanting. One should adhere seriously to the chanting of the holy name as recommended in the scriptures. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. While chanting the holy name of Lord, one should be careful to avoid 10 offenses. From Sant Kumar, it is understood that even if a person is a severe offender in many ways, he is freed from all offensive life if he takes shelter of the Lord's holy name. Indeed, even if a human being is no better than a two-legged animal, he will be liberated if he takes shelter of the holy name of Lord. One should therefore be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of Lord's holy name. Offenses are described as follows: A. To blaspheme a devotee, especially devotee engaged in broadcasting the glories of the holy name. B. To consider the names of Lord Shiva or any other demigod to be equally as powerful as the holy name of Lord or Supreme Person Godhead. No one is equal to Supreme Person Godhead, nor is anyone superior to him. C. To disobey the instructions of spiritual master. D. Blaspheme Vedic literatures and literatures compiled in persons of Vedic literatures. E. To comment that the glories of holy name of Lord are exaggerated. F. To interpret the holy name in a deviant way. G. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the holy names. H. To compare the chanting of the holy name to the pious activities. I. To instruct the glories of the holy name to a person who has no understanding of the chanting of the holy name. J. Not to awaken in constant attachment for chanting of the holy name, even after hearing all the scriptural injunction. There is no way to atone for any of these offenses. It is therefore recommended that an offender at the feet of the holy name may continuously chant the holy name 24 hours a day. Constant chanting of the holy name will make one free of offenses, and then he will gradually be elevated to transcendent platform on which he can chant the pure holy name, and thus become a lover of the Supreme Person Godhead. It is recommended that even if one commits offenses, one should continue chanting the holy name. In other words, the chanting of the holy name makes one offenseless. In book Nama Kaumudi, it is recommended that if one is an offender at the lotus feet of Vaishnava, he should submit to that Vaishnava and be excused. Similarly, if one is an offender in chanting the holy name, he should submit to the holy name and thus be freed from his offenses. In this connection, there is a following statement spoken by Daksha to Lord Shiva. I did not know the glories of your personality, and therefore I have committed an offense at your lotus feet in the open assembly. You are so kind, however, that you did not accept my offense. Instead, when I was falling down because of accusing you, you saved me by your merciful glance. You are most great, kindly excuse me, and be satisfied with your own exalted qualities. One should be very humble and meek to offer one's desires and chant prayers composed in glorification of holy name, such as Ai Mukta Kule Upasyamanam and Nivritta Tarshay Rupagiyamana. One should chant such prayers to become free from offenses at the lotus feet of the holy name. Om Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा. Extremely happy to be amongst all of you here today. Extremely grateful to each one of you for taking out your valuable time to be here for morning class, despite your many hectic schedules and many things. You have taken out time to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So you should know you are the most intelligent person. Many people work hard thinking that by working hard, they will solve all problems of life. But we see Srimad Bhagavatam explains, more we work hard, more we just become miserable in life. You just get entangled in cycle of reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. But if one just hears the glories of holy, glories of, then one is freed from all the impurities in heart, and whatever struggles in heart is removed, and person becomes happily situated. Bhagavatam explains this simple truth was not known to the people. Therefore, Vyasdeva has composed this Srimad Bhagavatam, just by hearing which one can be free from all sufferings. So we have been hearing on this verse, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Archanam Dasim Satman, for the last 3 days, because Prabhupada has given super big purport. Rather, this is the essence of our Krishna conscious movement. All the process of Krishna services, process of Krishna is expanding 64 items of Krishna service. So, other day before yesterday, class 1 we spoke on, what was the topic we spoke on? Importance of hearing. Yes, we have many services and many things to do, but among all, number one services, we have to do that. Because only when we hear, we'll be able to see all other services as service. Otherwise, we'll consider everything else as a big burden. And we'll be able to see everything in relationship with Krishna, and then we can act in Krishna consciously. So in the first session, we discussed about many things about importance of hearing. Yesterday, we discussed second class on same verse and read some part. So, what was one thing you remember from yesterday's class? Yes.
Yeah, hearing is the foundation of our movement. It
Yes.
keeps devotees united. It keeps our vision spiritual.
Yes, we saw that Prabhupada has built a home in which whole world can live. This home is not a material home. Material home has, some boundaries and some limitations. But spiritual home, there are no limitations of space and time. So Prabhupada built the spiritual home in which whole world can live. And the foundation of that home is, like if you want to build home, there has to be foundation. We can't build home without foundation. So what is the foundation of that home? Shravanam Kirtan, hearing and chanting. Foundation is sadhana, individual and collective sadhana. And sadhana, especially in age of Kali, especially for us given by Acharyas, sadhana of hearing and chanting. Hearing Krishna Katha, hearing holy, chanting holy, chanting the glories of Lord. Hearing, chanting the foundation. And in today's verse, Prabhupada is mentioning what is qualification to hear and chant. It is very difficult to hear and chant Krishna Katha or Krishna's holy names, because we are so accustomed to hearing and chanting our own glories, and hearing and chanting glories of some mundane people. It's very difficult to hear and chant about Krishna. So, what is the qualification Prabhupada says? To chant and hear as Tunadapi Suniche. Amanina Manadina. To the degree we become humble, to the degree we can actually hear and chant. It's very difficult to hear and chant with a proud heart. For proud heart, hearing, chanting glories of Lord can be very repulsive, very bitter. When one is hearing glories of Lord, one you think, why is he hearing glories of Lord, talking glories? You should talk my glories, So that is false ego. So when one is free from false ego, one is humble, then one is happy to hear about Krishna, happy to talk about Krishna. So Trunada peace nature, thorough musician, one should be very tolerant. If you try to solve all problems of the world, whole life will be gone. The purpose of life is not to solve all problems of the world. The purpose of life is to hear and chant and awaken a love for Krishna. Serve Krishna. Problems will be there. So, but we have to just tolerate them and go on. We have to focus on our real business of life. Go on. Just trying to solve the problems of world, it will be waste of time. We are in a journey. So imagine we see there is some problem in bus stop or railway station or airport, we can't be trying to sort out. We have to focus on our journey. Otherwise, we try to sort out the problems that railway station, bus stop, rail, airport, we'll miss our flight and miss our journey. So the problems will there, whatever little bit is there, just tolerate and move on. Because our goal is to go to the destination. So we have to tolerate unnecessary petty things of this world. And we have to give all respect to others and expecting such a state of mind. So humility has many definitions and many understandings. One understanding, one definition is humility means to see good in others and to find fault in oneself. To the degree one is humble, one will be able to see good in others, and one will be able to see fault in oneself. To the degree one is proud, to that degree one will see fault in others and one will see good in oneself. So if one is proud, if you just seeing fault in others, good in oneself, it's very difficult to chant. But if you are able to appreciate this, if you are find fault in oneself, then chanting is very easy. So one should. Under humility is manifested through humble menial services. Ultimately, we are not Lord and the Master. We are eternally Jiva Swarupa, Krishna and Nitya Das. And Das also, how what Das? We are insignificant Das, not a very big Das. No? We are 1/10,000 of the people. That is our constitution. The eternally insignificant servant. And what is the function of servant? Servant is to do service. What is duty of insignificant servant? To do menial service. So yesterday we were discussing about building the home. The foundation of the home is sadhana, individual and collective sadhana, beginning with hearing. And flooring of the home. After foundation, we make a flooring. Flooring of the home is humble, menial service attitude. So sometimes people want to do seva, but they want to do big sevas, prominent sevas, sevas which will attract attention of the world, or sevas that will give them recognition and and like that. But humble menial service, doing seva without any expectation in return, especially without expecting recognition. So if you're doing seva, thinking that other people will appreciate me, glorify me, recognize me, then that is not actually meaningful service. And that seva, after doing that, may lead to frustration. Seva means menial service, doing that seva without any expectation of any recognition. So whatever, okay, we need to wash the floors, okay, we need to cook, we need to give class, we need to organize, we need to manage, whatever may be required. We need to do that seva. Sometimes serving prasadam is a seva. And sometimes honoring prasad is seva. So many people are interested in serving prasad, nobody is there to honor prasad. So if you honor prasad, that is also seva. And then giving gift is a seva. Receiving gift is a seva. Sometimes hearing class, sitting down is a seva. Sometimes giving class is seva. So sometimes, so depending on time pressure, whatever is required, we serve, do the needful so that service of Lord is done nicely. So whoever we may be, when we come in front of Lord, and especially when we come in temple, especially in Krishna constant, we need to develop this attitude of humble servitude. Then it's actually pleasing. And the community becomes very wonderful community. But imagine people are filled with their false egos and everybody's craving for recognition and trying who's going to be uh, bigger and bigger Lord and Master. That kind of community is not very pleasing to heart. And people say, "Arey, this is just going outside in material world. So, what is the difference? So difference is that in community activities, there is competition to serve, um, not get name, fame, glory, but serve devoted Mahabharata, without any discrimination. Any service. There's no high and low service. Any service. There's high and low consciousness. Any service is done with high consciousness, high service. Any consciousness which is done with low consciousness is low service. So high and low service is not in terms of external service, but in terms of consciousness. When we have that humble, menial service, that is high consciousness. So that is flooring. So when we build a house, first we have foundation, then we have flooring, then we build the walls. So what are the walls? Hmm? Hmm? So Mr. Radha Gopinath will explain. He says walls means loving relationship among people. They protect us. Now you see, if there would not be wall, it will be very cold, very hot, very rains come and it will be very miserable. But walls are there, they protect us. Mm. If there is only foundation, only flooring, it's very difficult to live there. Wall is there, then it at least protects. So he says that loving relationships among devotees, like building a wall, protects us from non-devotee association, outside association. And loving relationships are built on 6 loving exchanges. The purpose of ISKCON to have this loving exchanges. What is 6 loving exchange? Dadati Pratikruna. Guhyam Akyati Prachit. Bhunte Bhojteva. Shadvir Priti Lakshana. Dadati, giving gifts and receiving gifts. Dadati Pratikruna. Guhyam Akyati Prachiti. Confidentially revealing our hearts and confidentially hearing from the devotees. Secrets of devotional service, how to advance in Krishna consciousness. And Bhunte Bhojite Che. Bhunte means giving prasadam and accepting prasadam. So these are small things but very effective. So by just doing these activities, gradually relationship will be built. So these are all in work form, giving gift, receiving gift, revealing heart, hearing. Like hearing Bhagavatam classes actually doing Akyati Pruchati, confidential discussing instructions. And plus I can also one-on-one have discuss serving prasadam, accepting prasadam. So it's not a very difficult science. It's a simple formula. And it's a very powerful formula. Anybody does this, immediately we can see relationships are built. Only sometimes we become lazy to do these things or we take it for granted. So if you want to develop loving relationships, it's important to do these things. Giving gifts, maybe special occasion. I saw Shivaji giving gift of hearing device. He gave to Maharaj also. He gave to me also. And every day actually I hear that. And it's such a great gift. Whatever small gift we do. Receiving gift is also actually a blessing. Is important. I remember one devotee. He had deeply thought and then brought some gift to me. And when he came to my room and he said, "Do this for you." He was brahmachari. He said, I don't need I said, you just give to our Samardhan, So then anybody else later on can take. I don't need. So because he just came and he said, bro, I want to give you. I said, I have this, just give to Samardhan. And I did not pay much attention. After 2 years, actually when they were discussing and there was some issue. And then I was sitting. Then he said, that time he told me, Proji, do you remember 2 years back? I had come to give you one gift. He said, how much I had meditated, how much I had planned, thought, and with great, I had come with that gift. But way you dealt, it broke my heart. Until today, my heart is so pained. Just rejected. Nice. They are giving gift. It's actually the part of their heart. So that external gift is not important. That gesture of the gift. It's very important how we receive it. And not just uh, ignore or no. So then I was thinking maybe I should have just accepted it, thanked him, and maybe I should have given it to someone. No. So instead of telling, "Arey, you only give," no. So just receiving, fulfill that I being accepted, and. So giving gift is servicing, receiving gift also. Service.
I have one question. Can you share?
Yes.
We were there in GBC meeting. Varshaji Kapoor was there. So we were serving. So I brought some, he was not taking shot. I brought some ball of sweet or something. So he smiled very nicely, he smiled. And then I was giving them and I'll take and put on the table. And he like the gesture only is thanked. Gesture you can see that he just accepted it. And then the whole his talk meeting happened. He left it there only, did not eat even a single bite, so he just left. But I could feel that he accepted.
Yes.
So that time first time I thought like, how sometimes we offer DTs also. So DTs are also eating. It's not like physically,
Yes.
DTs are also accepting the love and they're also tasting prasadam like that. So I could really feel that how Prabhu is actually accepting. I could feel that satisfaction.
Yeah.
Even though that was still lying. So something which was it only to experience, but I could.
So, and one of the great gifts we can give devotees is to appreciate them. Just speak our sweet words. Other day I was just passing and I heard Guru Gopal saying, he said, from our body, all nasty things can come out of the body. Because all the holes, all nasty things. At least some sweet things can come out of our body. From mouth also nasty things come when the body. Sweet things can come out of our mouth. Doesn't cost anything. So that builds actually wonderful loving relationships. And not offending the devotees. Have to be very careful, especially this tongue. Not to criticize. So this Dadati Prativan Guyamaki Devoti shared with people. So this can build loving relationships. And what spoils these loving relationships? Number one thing that spoils this loving relationship, envy and competition. Being envious of others and trying to pull others down, trying to put ourselves up. So in material world, there's competition to pull others down and go on the top. But actually, in spiritual world, it's ulta competition. How to uplift others up and go ourselves down. So in material world, there is a leadership pyramid is like this. But in spiritual pyramid is opposite. More you put others up, more you go down, more you become glorious in the eyes of Krishna. So Krishna doesn't see the line from the front. Krishna sees the line from the back, like in Mahabharata, we see Dukhi, the maid servant of Shiva's. She was way back and assisting all devotees. But Mahaprabhu, first thing is took note of the king because she was serving all the servants. And immediately he called her. And asked, what is your name? She said, no. He said, no, I today will give you name Sudha. Not only change the name, but gave her love on it. So when we push others ahead and we become their servant, actually Krishna becomes very nice. It's great concept. In material world, everyone is trying to push others down and put themselves. So that is actually that spoils greatly. So there is no danger to this Krishna movement from outside. More outside dangers come, more Krishna movement will spread, become strong. The danger is only from within. If devotees envy each other, fight others, call others, then spoil everything. That can spoil. Another thing which can spoil Preeti is the manifest way envy in form of gossip and criticism. For example, talking ill about others, talking negative things at the back or in front or whatever, around the other. So that is what can spoil. So with same mouth which we have drunk poison of criticism, the same mouth we have drunk nectar of glorification of devotees. And these things happen because of false ego. Some of them think I'm superior, I'm better than others. We may not say, but in the heart of heart we think, what is this devotee useless? What is this? What is this? No, I'm better. So that really spoils. When we think in the heart of heart, I'm better than others, it's very difficult to develop any anything. Only we are able to appreciate when who is better than me. Then one can develop freely. One time, I remember in Pratyadra, is always Japagal Maharaj giving class and then question answer session. So one devotee asked question to Maharaj, Maharaj, I'm going to enter into Grihastha ashram. Can you please tell me about how to choose a partner so that I can have a happy Krishna married life? So Maharaj said, you should choose partner who is more advanced than you in Krishna consciousness. Then you will have happy Krishna marriage. What he said? You should choose a partner who is more advanced. So if you are Prabhuji, you should have a wife who is more advanced than you. And if you are a wife, you should have a husband who is more advanced. So there are some of them where husband and wife there. Now imagine, technically, if husband is more advanced than wife, so so how they will have happy Krishna married life? Like if
from one side it will come back. Practically
so imagine Maharaj said that you should marry a partner who is more advanced than you, then you will have happy Krishna marriage. It's okay, wife marries husband who is more advanced than Krishna. But what about husband? How will we have happy Krishna marriage? Okay, wife married a husband who is more advanced, then she has a happy Krishna married life. But what about husband?
He also has to see her as more advanced and learn from her.
So, Manas said, if you think that, okay, I'm advanced than her, or if she thinks that I'm advanced than her, we will always have a miserable family life. So, husband should think wife is more advanced than me, and accordingly honor and respect. Wife should think husband is more advanced. And in that way, actually, one can have happy. Similarly, when you are staying in a session devotees, we should think, oh, other devotees more advanced than me. If we think other devotees more advanced than me, we'll have happy Krishna conscious brahmacharya life also. But in brahmacharya, we think I am the most advanced and all other brahmacharyas use their value. Then we'll be most miserable. So, wherever you are staying, if you are able to appreciate others and see how they are wonderful devotees, then we'll have happy Krishna's life. But if you are not able to appreciate others and if you find faults with others and look down upon others, then we'll have a very miserable spiritual life. If you think I'm better than others, there's no question of any priti developing. Yes.
Question.
Yes.
You can ask
Yes.
You mentioned how speaking words of appreciation is also a way of giving a gift to
Yes.
somebody. But something, the name of humility, some other devotees appreciating us, we sort of reject that devotee, sort of cutting him down. How do we gracefully accept appreciation?
So we'll discuss that tomorrow. It's a big topic. Just one point. When we think that he's appreciating in us some quality, we know the quality is not mine. It's by mercy. By mercy. Such a bold person mostly is able to appreciate me, seeing good in me. So we can appreciate him. It takes one to know down. When people speak, actually they are speaking about themselves. Because we can see only upward movement each other. If suppose we could see good in us, that means we don't know what still is able to see it. Second thing, sir, I was such a bad person, but maybe little bit developed, but because of master English. Thank you. So, Gopal Vijay, Govinda, Adi Krishna, Bajami, Govinda, Adi Krishna, Bajami, Govinda, Adi Krishna, Bajami, Govinda, Adi